Living with an avoidant husband, 7 daily struggles. Anxious women don't talk about. Living with an avoidant husband is a silent kind of heartbreak, one that doesn't scream, doesn't explode, but quietly chips away at you every day. On the surface, everything might look fine. He goes to work, pays the bills, maybe even makes jokes at dinner. But underneath, you're aching. Not because he's cruel or obviously neglectful, but because he's just not there. Not emotionally, not intimately, not vulnerably. If you're an anxious woman in this kind of relationship, you've likely been told to stop overthinking, give him space, or be patient. But what no one talks about are the small daily struggles that leave you feeling more like a ghost than a wife. Today we'll go deep into 7 of those struggles, ones that women like you often don't say out loud, but carry in silence. Number 1, reaching out and getting silence in return. One of the first daily battles is simply initiating emotional connection and being met with silence, distraction, or disinterest. You might text him something thoughtful during the day, no reply. You might try to talk about how you're feeling at night. He mumbles, "I'm tired," and turns over. You reach out because connection is your language. But for him, emotional depth feels like drowning. And so you start to feel foolish for even trying. It's like talking into a void. And the worst part is, you still keep doing it, hoping this time he'll reach back. Number 2, feeling like the too much partner. Avoidant men often don't say it directly, but their body language, eye contact, and avoidance of emotional topics whisper one thing: you're too much. You cry, he shuts down. You bring up your needs, he walks away. So over time, you start to shrink. You talk less. You numb your feelings. You even apologize for wanting connection. Anxious women often internalize the idea that they are the problem, that their emotions are somehow burdensome. But what's really happening is a dynamic where one partner fears intimacy and the other fears abandonment, and neither of those fears gets soothed. Number 3, being the emotional laborer of the relationship. Another silent pain is carrying the entire emotional load. You plan the date nights, you initiate every hard conversation, you remember anniversaries, read relationship books, Google how to communicate better, and him, he coasts, he avoids, he downplays. You start to feel like his emotional parent, not his partner, and it's exhausting. It's like building a bridge with no one on the other side. When you live with an avoidant husband, being the emotional laborer becomes your unpaid, unappreciated full-time job. Number 4, the pain of physical closeness without emotional intimacy. Sex with an avoidant partner can be confusing. Sometimes he wants it, sometimes he doesn't. But even when he does, it often feels disconnected, like a routine or a release, but not a moment of bonding. And afterward, he pulls away. No cuddling, no talking, just distance. For an anxious partner, this physical closeness without emotional intimacy feels worse than no closeness at all. Because your body is present, but your heart feels more alone than ever. It's a constant push-pull that messes with your sense of worth and your understanding of love. Number 5, walking on eggs without knowing why. Living with an avoidant man often means feeling like you have to constantly manage the emotional temperature of the home. You avoid bringing things up that might trigger his withdrawal. You tiptoe around topics. You second-guess whether now is a good time to talk. But the rules keep changing. Some days he's responsive. Other days, the smallest request makes him retreat into silence. You never quite know who you're going to get, so you become hyper-vigilant, reading tone, watching expressions, overanalyzing everything. It's not love, it's survival. Number 6, craving reassurance but feeling needy for asking. Anxious partners thrive on clarity. Do you love me? Are we okay? What did that silence mean? But when you ask for reassurance from an avoidant man, you're often met with annoyance, defensiveness, or cold logic. He might say, "Why are you always worried?" Or, "I'm here, aren't I?" You begin to feel ashamed for needing reassurance at all, so you stop asking. But the anxiety doesn't stop. It just gets quieter and deeper. You're left self-soothing with half-truths and mental gymnastics, trying to convince yourself that this is enough, that you're enough. even though deep down you feel starved. Number 7. Pretending everything's fine around others. This is one of the hardest parts, acting like everything is okay in public. When friends ask, "How's your marriage?" you smile and say, "It's good, he's just quiet." You make excuses for his absence, his detachment, his aloofness. You've learned to code your pain in polite words. He's just not emotional. We're very independent. But when you're alone, the mask drops. You cry in bathrooms, reread old messages where he seemed more connected, and wonder what changed. You start questioning your standards, your intuition, even your sanity. Because the loneliness is real, but it's also invisible to everyone else. These aren't just random struggles, they're symptoms of emotional deprivation. And the sad truth is, many women in these relationships start to confuse anxiety with love, silence with safety, and detachment with maturity. But the body knows, your nervous system knows. That knot in your stomach, that feeling of being alone in a room with someone you love, that's not normal. That's your nervous system telling you, this hurts. Why it's so hard to leave or change the dynamic. And yet you stay, not because you're weak, but because you keep hoping he'll wake up. That one day he'll say, "I miss you. I see you. I want to open up." You remember the beginning, the connection, the charm, the glimpses of warmth, and you chase that version of him like a mirage. You might even blame yourself. Maybe if I was more patient, less emotional, more secure. But love shouldn't require emotional self-abandonment, and healing doesn't come from pretending your needs are too big. It comes from honoring them, even if your partner can't. What you can start doing now. If you're in this dynamic, know this: your needs are valid, your pain is real, and you don't have to fix him. Start with boundaries, small ones. Emotional boundaries that say, "I won't beg for love, I won't chase silence, I won't shrink to be tolerable." Seek support from people who see you. Therapy, friendships, online communities. Begin the work of anchoring your safety in yourself, not in his ability to respond. Healing from an avoidant dynamic isn't easy, but it starts with reclaiming your emotional reality. To every woman living with an avoidant husband, feeling invisible, confused, and emotionally starved, you're not crazy, you're not dramatic, you're not asking for too much. You're asking for connection, which is the core of any healthy relationship. Your feelings deserve to be seen, held, and honored. And if your partner can't do that right now, or ever, it doesn't mean you're unlovable. It means his attachment wounds are bigger than your willingness to wait. And maybe, just maybe, your healing starts when you stop waiting for him to come closer and start walking toward yourself.